Now, have you had a module disappear when you've imported content from Commons or maybe copied content from another course? Hopefully not, but if you have, I want to explain what happened and then what do you do about it to prevent that from happening again. So let's go ahead and jump into a Sandbox course, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through how this happens. So I just have an empty course here, and I'm going to go ahead and click on Import from Commons. And in my Commons, I have a template that I've designed that we use with our district that just kind of sequentially lays out content really, really well. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click on it and import right here. Okay. And I'm going to choose the course, and I'm just going to go right into my Sandbox course, and it is importing. So we'll go ahead and click Courses and back into that Sandbox. Now it's a pretty small, so you can see it's already here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change some of the details in this, and then I'm going to re-import that module. So actually, let's not click there. Let's just click Edit. All we need to do is change some names, and we're just going to say that this is unit on, I don't know, cell theory. I always like science names. And we'll change a couple items in here. We're just going to change this to 9.2, and we'll call this cell theory. And we'll change this one too. We don't need to change all of them. And we'll call this 9.2.1. And again, cell theory. Just enough that we can see that there's a difference. Okay, so you can see that I've changed these items. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, and I want us to note something. Okay, so when I click here, I want you to note up here, because it tells you what the module ID is, okay, or the module item ID. And so right there, I'm just going to copy that module item ID, and I'm going to create a new tab to just kind of store that there. Good way to store some information in case you need to come back to it. All right, now we've got a module here, and I'm going to go ahead and import from Commons again. I'm going to find that same module because maybe I need to use it again, and I'm going to click Import, and again I'm going to find my Sandbox course and then import. Okay, so it says you have successfully started importing. Shouldn't take very much time at all. Go ahead and find my Sandbox course, and look, already this has been replaced. Okay, you can see that those titles went back. It did not add an additional one, and we'll look at this first lesson and you'll see why. Okay, so if I open that up, look at that ID number. Okay, so that ID number 305484 is the exact same one. Zoom in there a little bit. 305484. It's the same one as the previous. So what's happening is the module is actually being overwritten when you import it, when you import a new one. But now let's go ahead and look at the pages. Okay, so that was a page and that was a page. So did it actually overwrite the content? Okay, and the answer, the answer is yes. So that content now is gone. Okay, and so what do I do to prevent that from happening? Well, I want to try a different technique instead. So instead of importing it directly into this content, okay, let's say that I really needed that module again. Well, the first thing that you should do is that if you have a module template that you're going to use, just keep it at the bottom and then duplicate it so that you can then use the content in your course. Don't just keep re-importing it. Okay, so that's number one. But let's say that I've already replaced it and I really do need that content. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to import from Commons into a different course. Okay, so once again, I'm going to come here and module template, and I'm going to import again. But instead of choosing that course, I'm going to choose a different one, and I'm going to use my test tube. I haven't used that one in a while. And actually, let's do test tube. Okay. Import into course. Should only take a second. Courses, and go find that course. Test tube. There we go. Now that I have it here, okay, I want you to notice that I click here, and the module item is now different. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change. Let's just change a couple names here again, and I'm just going to type in some nonsense just so that we can see some differences. Edit. Again, this is on my original Sandbox course. So what I've done is I've imported into a different course, okay, a different Sandbox course, and now I'm going to copy this too. Okay, copy to, and again I'm going to choose that course, Sandbox 365. There it is. Make a copy, and it's started successfully. Let's get in here. Let's refresh. And note, there's the first, there's the second. And the reason why is that when it imported into that other course, it gave it a different module ID number. But when it imports it into the same one over and over, it's actually going to put it in the exact same module ID and override it. So what's the workaround? Put it into a second course, really, and then copy it in if you really need to have that template again, so it doesn't overwrite. So we've looked at how you can prevent having a module or course item overwrite something that you've already had in your course. That's how you fix it and make sure it doesn't happen again. Cheers.